Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 2003 release by Hasbro from their Star Wars Attack of the Clones series of 4-inch action figures. And this particular figure we're looking at today is of none other than the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, who turns out, as we all know, to be the evil Sith Lord Darth Sidious. Okay, so Attack of the Clones was the second movie in the prequel trilogy, and it was set 10 years after the events of the Phantom Menace. And basically you saw the uncovering of the clone army and the start of the Clone Wars, basically. Okay, let's not digress. Let's have a look at the figure itself. So this is the figure in front of us. And it says warning, choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years and ages 4 and above. And it says Star Wars, and you can see the figure behind the bubble. And at the bottom, you can see an image of Chancellor Palpatine as he appeared in the movie Attack of the Clones. And it says Attack of the Clones, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. And on the bottom, if I just turn the card around slightly, you can see it says there Supreme Chancellor Palpatine is figure number 39 and it's collection 2. And on this corner it says, or you have the Hasbro logo. Okay, that's the front of the card. Let's just turn the card around to the back and let's see what we got on the back. Okay, so the back of the card, it says Attack of the Clones, Star Wars. 10 years after the fight to save Naboo from invasion, the galaxy is on the brink of a civil war. Under the leadership of a renegade Jedi, thousands of solar systems threaten to succeed from the Galactic Republic. A courageous Jedi Knight, his impulsive and headstrong apprentice, and a queen-turned senator are drawn into the heart of the conflict and the beginning of war. Oh, okay, so it says Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, and it's Series 2, figure number 39. Currently presiding over the Galactic Republic, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine maintains that negotiations are continuing with Separatists. Peace is the objective. He assures the Senate, not war. However, Palpatine subsequently takes to a more aggressive approach when the Senate grants him absolute power to commission an emergency army to end the civil strife. And there you can see the images of the figure, and it's all based on the character as played by Ian McDiarmid in the trilogies. And it says collect them all. So other figures in the series, you've got T. Jaspor, the alien bounty hunter, Tarn Wee, the Kamino cloner, and Qui-Gon Jinn, the Jedi master. Although Qui-Gon Jinn wasn't in Attack of the Clones, I don't quite understand why he's in that one, but there we are. That's another question to be answered at another time. And it says program colours may vary, poses shown may require additional support. More figures coming soon. Visit the official Star Wars website, www.starwars.com, and www.starwarkids.com, and www.starwarshasbro.com. Join the official Star Wars fan club, and you've got the Hasbro logo on the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, so that's the back of the card. Let's spin the card back round to the front and have a good look at the figure itself. Okay, so I've zoomed right in on the figure itself, and you can see the facial features are pretty damn accurate to Ian McDiarmid, who plays Chancellor Palpatine, or the Emperor, in the Star Wars trilogy. He first appeared in the Return of the Jedi, and then appeared in the prequel trilogy in all 3 movies, and subsequently appeared in the last movie, which was the Rise of Skywalker. But it's a pretty good likeness. I mean, the facial features are very, very good, especially when we think this figure is now 21 years old. It was done very well 21 years ago, even though the technology has moved on immensely for sculpture and figures, but that face, if I just bring him very, very close, turn his face around so you can see him, that just looks absolutely incredible. It's very, very well done. There's a little bit of dirty mark on the front of the plastic there, which is reflecting on his face, but if you can bypass seeing that, you can actually see that he is it's very, very well done. Really does look the part. Even back down to the freckles on his face, he looks absolutely really, really good likeness. And just to show you, there is the face of Ian McDiarmid. I mean, there's very little difference there. I mean, it just looks so incredibly good. So well done for the time. As I say, 2003 to 2021, we were 21 years ago. To 2023, we were 21 years ago when this figure was produced, but it's been done so very well. And of course, he's dressed in his Chancellor robes for the Senate, and he's got his hands together as he quite often stood as Chancellor, and he's in the full Chancellor gowns. So excellent figure, excellently produced, and although I don't think there's very much articulation on this figure, I think that's probably one thing that lets it down. But before we look at that, let's have a look at the size-wise. So we're looking at 10 centimeters. You can just see that. Actually, I'll zoom out a little bit further so you can see the size exactly. So we're looking at 10 centimeters in diameter, in height, I should say, 4 centimeters in width. And if we go down to the bottom where his gown goes across, again, we're looking at 4 centimeters deep. So articulation wise, I'm not really sure on this figure if there's much articulation at all. I know you can move the head, not sure about the arms, and again, I'm not sure about the legs. I don't think you're going to be able to get in there to move the legs. So I think there's very little articulation on this figure, but there really doesn't need to be, really, because this figure really is really just there to be displayed. I think it's a terrific figure. You really wouldn't have any great play value with this figure, even though it was part of the figure selection, because there's just no movement and there's no accessories that come with him. But I think he's fantastic. I really do. It's done so well, and such a strong character for the series, and he played the part of Palpatine absolutely fantastically. So yeah, such a strong character in the movie. You couldn't have a range of figures without having him, of course, even though this particular figure really doesn't do a lot, and is really there just to display at the end of the day. Okay, how well did these figures do in 2003? Well, I'll be honest with you, they didn't do as well as the figures from The Phantom Menace, and they didn't do as well as the figures from Revenge of the Sith, but I think that's pretty much normal when it comes to the middle trilogy. And bearing in mind that these were only run for the shortest time of all the figures, because it was the middle film. So the Phantom Menace figures were released prior to the movie coming out, and they were released right up. They carried on releasing them right up until the Attack of the Clones movie started, and these particular figures wasn't released until Attack of the Clones was already out. So a much later series of figures coming through, and then of course they finished them quite abruptly, because then they wanted to work on the Revenge of the Sith figures, which came out prior to the movie coming out. So it was a short time for Attack of the Clone figures to be released, and again, because it's the middle film, you really don't seem to get so many sales on the merchandise as you do on the first and last movies. It's not just Star Wars though, that's just any movie trilogies that produce a lot of merchandise. It's the same for all of them, really. So it is a shame, because I think some of the figures on Attack of the Clones were the best that were produced at the time, and as I say, this Palpatine figure is just absolutely spot on. It's a shame about the articulation on as I say, on this one, but otherwise it's a fantastic figure. So, do these figures come up very often on the platforms now? Well, they don't really. You don't see an awful lot of the Attack of the Clone figures coming on platforms. Not in the packs, anyway. You do see, obviously, loads and loads of figures come up on the platforms loose, out of the package, and they've been played with or they've been displayed or what have you. But you very, very rarely see Attack of the Clones figures in the packages on the platforms, which I suppose is not surprising now. You're 21 years on since the time they were released, and so they are becoming less and less. We used to see a lot of them come up, but very, very few these days like this. And there's certain figures that are very rare, and that hardly ever appeared anyway, and Chancellor Palpatine was actually one of those rare figures. I can't think why, with him being such a dominant character in the trilogy, although as Palpatine, you didn't see a great deal of him in Attack of the Clones. There's much more of him in the final movie, Revenge of the Sith, obviously. But in Attack of the Clones, yeah, he wasn't so prominently featured. Maybe that's why he was one of the rarer figures. I don't know. So this particular one, very, very rarely, if ever, comes up on the platforms. However, yes, you know it, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few of these figures, and they are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Wars items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody. And I am absolutely positive that this is something that you won't want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products, which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful old figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.